Okay, so this is the first question in the functions booklet, and you can see we've got two functions, f and g, and really what this is saying to us is that we've got an f, we've got an input area, and where the x is here is where you put your input number. So for instance, if I was to do for that, okay, I would get 2 over 4, which is R. Here, what this is saying is that you get the input goes inside the brackets, but also on the right hand side of the equation, wherever the x was, we put some open brackets, and we're going to put the input here as well. So, for instance, if I had G3, I'd get to put the input wherever the x was, where we're going to put the input. So the 3 would go here, and this will give me 4/3. Okay, right. So let's start the questions. Here where it says domain, okay, and these are the input numbers. What input number am I not allowed to put, okay, in the domain of f or g? Well, on your calculator there are two things that will cause math error. There is square rooting a negative number, okay, any kind of negative number you want to square root, it's not going to like it. And the other thing that's going to cause math error is if you try to divide by 0. So if I do 9 divided by 0, it doesn't like it, okay? Anything dividing by 0, you're not allowed to do, okay? And you can see here that I've got a situation where if x was 0, I'd get math error. So my answer to the first one is 0. Now here I've got to solve this difficult equation, but I'm not being asked to put 3 inside here, okay? And what they want me to do is to work out what the left-hand side of the equation is first, and then put that equal to 3. Well, let's have a look at GFA. The clever thing to do is to rewrite it as f embedded in G, and f is inside G. Don't work from left to right, work from the inside out. Now, if I was to put a here and here, I get that this is 2 over a. So this gives me 2 over a. Now this is my new input. Now, if you remember, okay, whatever goes inside this input area goes here and goes here. And this time that means it's going to be, if you look at the g function, we get 2 over a. I've made that look too much like a 9, but it's actually an a. So it turns out that this left-hand side, okay, of the equation is equal to all of that complexity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it over here and put that over here. Well, I still want to simplify it before I start putting it equal to 3, okay? So I don't like having the fractions within the fractions. And so I think to myself, well, I want to get rid of this divide by a. Well, the way to do that is to times it by a. And I wouldn't write this normally, but this is what I'm thinking. If I could times that by a, that would be cool, right? But I've got to do it to everything, yeah? So I've got to do it to the whole of the numerator. And so with fractions, remember that you're not hurting the fraction if you multiply top and bottom by the same thing. So 20 over 40 is still 2 over 4. And so if I multiply the top by a, I have to do the same here, which is kind of cool anyway, because I want to get rid of that bottom one as well. So if I do that, these a's cancel. I'm left with an easier thing, which is 2 plus a over 2. Now this is a lot easier version, and this I'm now going to put equal to 3. Now I need to get rid of this fraction. I'm going to multiply away, and I get 2 plus a equals 6, and therefore a is equal to 4. Now that is definitely a level 8 question, okay? So if you thought that was difficult, well, you're not wrong.